Ring the bell.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slam Society here, and welcome to our review show here of WWE Backlash France.
Bonjour.
May 4th, 2024, LDLC Arena. I can't pronounce the name of the stadium, but Lyon, France is where it was at. 11,628 fans in attendance. I'm Karlifornia. This is Jooseyboy. Hello, how are you?
Bonjour, you cheese-eating monkey surrenderers. No, but in all seriousness, bro, I'm feeling good. I thought it was a pretty decent show.
Oh yeah,
hell of a crowd.
Oh yeah.
As usual, ladies and gents, and all of our non-binary friends out there, of course. We are going to be chopping up Backlash France for you right here, and at the end, of course, we're going to be going over a few tweets and reviewing them as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, like initial thoughts off the bat, I thought this was a pretty good show, bro.
Very good, bro. Before we continue, everyone, please, if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Please like this video and hit the bell so you can find out all of our future videos as they get published. So here we go, Jooseyboy. So I watched this pretty much just after it went live. So I was up till quite early in the early in the morning watching it because I believe it started at 1 a.m. Perth time. But you know what? That crowd, I liked the French crowd. They were so it was wholesome, it was fun, they were singing, they were having a great time. I like doing these pay-per-views in different countries because they're so appreciative that they're not trying to get themselves over, they're just trying to have a good time.
Of course, and some people, of course, were saying they were annoyed by the crowd. I'm not going to necessarily criticize everyone for saying that the crowd was annoying, because there are some fans that don't want the crowd to be such a focal point. However, I agree with you. I liked the loudness of the crowd. I feel like the crowd were being loud to show their appreciation for the show. They weren't being loud so that they could take over the show. And that's how I feel about the crowd. Well done to the people of Lyon. What an exciting atmosphere those people all helped create for this show.
Lovely, bro. Lovely. Just lost my browser for a second. Here we go. Okay, so the first matchup to open the show here, Jooseyboy. Tag team match that became a street fight. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton taking on Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga in his in-ring WWE debut. Paul Heyman at ringside. What did you think of the opening contest, bro?
I have to tell you, bro, like this felt like a classic Attitude Era type street fight. They came out, they started with this big pull-apart brawl that got so heated and so physical immediately that the officials had to come and separate them because the ref was unable to get the guys into their corners. I liked that touch. They could have just announced that it was going to be a street fight going into it, but instead they chose to do a little bit of business to create a reason for it to be made a street fight. I mean, it already had a reason because these guys have already been brawling back and forth. But I like the little touch of like, oh man, the referee is just going to have such a tough time controlling this match that Nick Aldis needs to make it a street fight so that because the ref's not going to be able to control it. Great touch. The match itself, I thought it was good. I really thought that this is a hot way to open a show, a brawl, a street fight. The physicality of this match was what stood out to me the most. Nobody tried to do anything that was overly crazy or overly insane. You know, Tama Tonga, you got to see him do a little bit. I was impressed with his selling and with his presence that he was able to carry himself with, because that's a high pressure situation to have your first match in. The last time I recall anybody having a debut match on pay-per-view and carrying themselves with that kind of presence was probably Biggie Langston's debut at WrestleMania tag teaming with Dolph Ziggler back in the day.
Right.
And I felt similar about that performance as I did about Tama Tonga's debut. But I mean, it can't be overlooked. Solo Sikoa, just every single match, developing as a performer, finding that style, finding his niche. Kevin Owens, in my opinion, he is like our modern equivalent to sort of a Mick Foley type. You know, I feel like he's really got, he doesn't necessarily do exact all the same hardcore stuff, but he is that everyman type that puts it on the line, and there's passion behind what he does. So I thought it was amazing. I really, really loved uh, uh, Tongaloa, Tama's brother, debuting at the end of the match, and he's the reason why Owens and Orton weren't able to pick up this victory. Solo and Tama, this current iteration of the Bloodline that's on TV, they just got a win over two former world champions, guys that have been in the ring with the best of the best. And, you know, it was a believable victory because no one expected Tongaloa to show up. And it was even implied that Paul Heyman, you know, didn't even know that Tongaloa was going to be there. So again, you've now debuted Tama in this match. He looked great. I mean, he put Randy Orton through a table. You know, like they gave him a great showcase, and then boom, in the very same match, Tongaloa, his brother, also debuts. Now you've almost got this. You know, I'm intrigued to see, are these two brothers going to team up? Is it going to now be like they're going to be Solo's equivalent of what the Usos were for Roman Reigns at the beginning of the Bloodline? Match itself, B plus. Really, really enjoyed it, bro. What do you think?
It was good. I was really chuffed with Tama's debut here. I thought he did a great job. This whole time, I was thinking Jacob Fatu was going to show himself and join the Bloodline. I had no idea Tama had a brother. I had no idea that Toa used to be Camacho, who used to back up Hunico in 2011 in WWE. I had no idea.
I didn't know that till you just said that. It's like
Really?
Camacho. Man,
Yes.
Camacho's back, man.
Because then I did some research. He left WWE in 2014. He was in TNA in 2015 to 16. And then for the last 8 years, he's been in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I had no idea that he had been there beforehand, because when they mentioned his name on commentary as he showed up, I was like, who? And then I was like, oh, okay, he was with Hunico back in the day. So
Yeah.
great stuff. Like, you know what? Like, every time you think that you know all the people that are in that family, and then someone else shows up, or someone else makes their wrestling debut, and like, how deep is this storyline going to go? I'm feeling that Jacob will show, because I believe he got signed. So I'm thinking Jacob will be there at some point. Like, how many people are they going to add to this thing? What's going to happen with Jimmy? What's happening with Jay? They had that moment backstage where they walked past him. Roman hasn't been there for a while. The Rock is obviously involved in the mix as well, but he's away for a while. What I like the most about this whole thing is that there's so many questions in the air. You don't know what's going to happen. So that's what I like about wrestling, not knowing. Because you know, a lot of the show, I'll be honest, like, you could tell who was going to win a lot of the matches, foregone conclusion, as we've said before. But this is a nice little surprise. I thought the match was very good, and a hot way to open up Backlash France.
Very good, very good.
Right, so let's move fucking forward. WWE Women's title match on the line here. Bayley defending against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton in a three-way. This is the thing I wanted to say. It feels like more often than not, they always put multiple women in a title match. It happened a few times last year with Bianca and Charlotte and Asuka and Io Sky, and it just seemed to happen quite a bit, and they're doing it again here. And, you know, I skipped, if there was a hype video, I skipped it. So I didn't really know what the story was going into this, but I think it's pretty obvious that it is Tiffy time. She's pretty over, even though she's supposed to be a heel. She looks amazing. She looks the part. She has the character down pat, and she was over like Rover in France. Whilst I think that she's so refreshing, again, I've said it a million times, I think Naomi needs to do something else and stop hanging a hat on the glow gimmick. It's come on. Everybody evolves at some stage and changes, and I think it's just it's a tired thing, and she's done it for long enough. And I think, honestly, I think she should well, she should have joined the bloodline, but now her husband's not in the group. So anyhow, I'm not going to talk about the things that happened in the match because I don't really want to do that anymore. I just want to talk about how I feel about it. I think the right decision was made to have Naomi get pinned by Bailey because we want to keep Tiffany protected somewhat, but I don't really want Tiffany to be in the main event program again for a while. I think they just need to remember she's pretty young. Let's look. How old is Tiffany Stratton? Tiffany Stratton age. They have to remember that she's 25, okay? So they might have her on that roster for 15 more years. Don't blow your load too early on someone like her or Bron Breakker, because you have 15 years of story to tell. You need to take your time so that there's a journey to get to the ultimate destination. So I hope that they don't just get there too early. But, if she's over enough, then fair enough. Then you have to go with it. You can't go against the grain, as they say. But yeah, good match. And happy that Tiffany was protected, but again, I still feel like the women and their world title and their storylines with the world titles are very bland. There's not really a lot going there. It's more about, oh, I want to beat you because I think I can be the champion, as opposed to it being like a long-winded, interesting storyline. And I say that despite the fact that Bailey and Io Sky had a storyline like that. But anyway, for the most part, I feel like it's not. Anyway, Jesus Boy, your thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, I'm gonna give the match a B minus. And the only reason is because there was a couple of moments where Naomi looked a little bit lost in the face. Like, she didn't screw anything up, but there was a couple of moments where I was like, she sort of looks like she's looking a little bit lost there. That probably put it from a B plus down to a B minus. But having said that, though, this was the best performance out of Naomi, in my opinion, since she's come back to the WWE. I thought that these women went out there and they had a hell of a triple threat match. All three women stayed involved. They did creative things. They had moments where it seemed like each of the three competitors could have won the match. And I like the fact that, yes, Tiffany Stratton's over. She's a huge up-and-coming star for their women's division, but they didn't build this whole match around her. It was more like, okay, you've got these two veterans, former champions, Bailey and Naomi, and they've got the experience. Then there's this wild card element of this fresh blood, Tiffany Stratton being thrown in. And I thought that that made for a tremendous dynamic. There's that classic juicy descriptor. It was tremendous, the dynamic in this match. I really enjoyed it, bro.
Very nice. You know what? Because of Tiffany debuting in NXT, as I've been watching it every single week, I have this like feeling of like pride, because like I'm an NXT guy, and I feel proud of the NXT people when they get on the main roster and they kill it like she is. Anyway, let's move forward. World Heavyweight Championship match. Damian Priest defending against Jey Uso. Juicy Boy, once again, you little son of a gun. What are your thoughts?
All right, bro. I think this is I might be controversy Jones over here for a minute, but I am going to unfortunately have to give this one of the most devastating ratings I can possibly give a match, Carl.
Oh no, it's not a Juicy Boy recommendation, is it?
No, it's even worse. It's only a C minus, bro.
Oh no,
That's
poor
all I can
Damien.
give. That's all I can give to this match, bro, is a C minus. And I'll tell you why. Because Jey Uso is over. I can see the charisma. I can see what they're doing with him. But I just get so fucking bored. There must be something that I'm missing because with Jey Uso, because a lot of people seem to disagree with me and they really love his matches.
I'm guessing
I
you're no Yeet.
Yeah, I'm no yet probably, but no, it's just I feel like all there was uppercut, Samoan drop, super kick, splash. Um, Damian Priest, on the other hand, I thought that he did a really good job here. This was his first title defense. I'm not saying Jay did a bad job. I just found myself kind of going, oh, is he really the opponent? Like that's
Yeah.
who's having the match, you know? And a highlight of the match for me, I've noticed because I watch the main segments from Raw and SmackDown every week. I don't watch the full shows, but I do watch the major segments so I can see what's been happening leading up to the pay-per-views. And Michael Cole in recent weeks has taken to referring to JD McDonough's head as a Klingon head. Obviously, Klingons being the aliens from Star Trek with the ridges on the forehead. So JD McDonough comes out. Michael Cole immediately says, "There you see JD McDonough with that Klingon-like head." Uh, McDonough runs out to the ring. He tries to get involved. And what I really liked, so Damian Priest then gets into JD McDonough's face, and the microphones actually picked up what they were saying. So Damian Priest goes like, "What the hell are you doing out here?" JD replies, "What do you mean?" Damian Priest replies, "What do you mean? What do I mean? I told you to stay backstage." JD McDonough then replied, "But I'm here to help you." And then Damian Priest responded to him, "I don't need your help." JD McDonough then responded, "You need to use your brain." Damian Priest then responded to him, "You need to use your big ass head." Get out of here.
Poor
At,
JD, bro.
at which point he turned around and got absolutely fucking walloped by Jey Uso. Highlighted the match for me. I loved the South of Heaven choke slam off the top for the finish. Great to see just a nice, solid, definitive win for the new champion Damian Priest here.
Very nice, bro. It was obvious who was going to win this one. But that's okay. Look, this is what happens. Someone wins the title. You know, the first defense they're probably going to retain, right? So it's okay. This is what happens. I do find the yeet thing annoying. But you know, I would take this crowd over a crowd that would start a "this is awesome" chant when nothing has happened yet in the
Mm-hmm.
match,
Mm-hmm.
or chanting "fight forever" after 7 minutes.
Or we're not worthy, even though
Oh,
you've paid hundreds of dollars to watch these two millionaires wrestle, but you're not worthy of it.
and whoops, I did it, Juicy Boy. Oh no. Oh no, I couldn't get through a review without bringing up AEW. So now I'm going to be bringing up a comment on YouTube that happened 20 hours ago. I believe this was on my review of Triple Mania, where I must have, don't remember doing it, but apparently I brought up AEW, and at Mr. Super Tall Black Man, he said, "Dear God, my dude, get over AEW. Every single review you do, you have to bring it up. The
No
only
one's
way,
asking you to watch them, bro.
hang on. The only way you know how to praise something is by talking shit about something else. The thing your praise probably isn't that great." I think maybe you mistyped that. You didn't even say anything about how good they are, just vague superlatives. And I had said, "That's okay, mate. I like bringing them up. If you don't like it, that's cool too. It's just the thought in my mind as I say it. Honestly, I had a hard time enjoying Triple Mania, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for the feedback." And then he said, "That's exactly my point. You can't actually articulate the wrestler being booked better. You're just looking for an excuse to complain about another company almost completely unrelated to the topic at hand."
Okay, well, you can't really articulate how to book a show better that doesn't really have any booking on it because it's a lucha libre show and it's more about just matches. So, yeah. All
And
right,
look,
what'd you?
I appreciated the fact that he was passionate enough to make the comment. And, thank you very much for watching the reviews. And I'm sorry if that annoys you, but um, that's, I'd bring them up because, when you're making a comparison to something that I think is the worst version of something, then unfortunately that happens to be
Mm,
them. So I'm making a comparison and that's the way it is. But, shit. I mean, I I have fun when I bring them up because it's at least it's something to talk about, right? I mean,
yeah.
shit, Juicy Boy, am I crazy?
And the fact is, I mean, you made a comment on it, so it caused you to engage with the video, and
Which is good.
we are here to try to grow our channel. And so
Hmm.
if discussing AEW is what draws people to engage with the content, then that's going to be a part of it until it stops being part of what makes people engage with the content. All right, what do you think of this match, bro?
You know what? I feel like with Damien, the way that they built him up prior to winning the title, it feels like he doesn't have the legitimacy and the heat that he should have as the heel champion, the world
Mm,
champion. He
mm.
showed up on NXT during spring breaking, and I thought he looked really cool. He had the belt over his shoulder. He looked important, but and this is a fault of mine. I don't watch the weekly show. I don't watch SmackDown or Raw. I just don't have time to. But I just feel like it's just the legitimacy isn't quite there yet. I haven't seen him get a big fucking win. When I found out that Jey Uso was going to be, the number one contender, um, we knew he wasn't going to win, but at the same time, does getting a win over Jey Uso for Damian Priest, does that do much for him at this point? Maybe not. Maybe he just needs a nice, easy one out the way early, but Damian will need to defeat Drew McIntyre. He will need to defeat Finn Balor if they split up. He will need to defeat like some names, like a Randy Orton or something like that, like a name. And he needs to beat them decisively and show that he can be a main eventer for the foreseeable future. If you want him to be like that and not like a one and done world champion like a Jack Swagger or a Jinder Mahal, if you want to keep him in there, you got to legitimize him by getting some big wins anyway. I thought the match went a little bit too long, but despite the fact it was a foregone conclusion, I will say that at least there was a couple of times where they got me and I thought, no way is Jay going to win here. So, good on them for at least making me guess. Let's move forward, Juicy. WWE Women's Tag Team titles on the line. Wow, can you believe it? On a pay-per-view or a PLE? That's very rare. The Kabuki Warriors defending against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. So I was interested to see how this was going to go, considering Jade hasn't been in the ring that much on television over the last few months since she debuted. But I thought that the Kabuki Warriors did a fantastic job in making her look good. I know she's probably still a bit green, but that's bound to happen.
Mhm.
Um, Bianca was fantastic. She played the babyface in peril for quite a lot of this match. But every time I saw Asuka or Kairi working with Jade, I thought they did a really good job with her. And I felt proud for Jade. I thought she did a very good job. There was one point of the match where it felt like something went wrong and they got a bit lost. I think like somebody was not the legal person in the match, and the
Mhm.
referee wouldn't do the count. And I think there was a mistake somewhere.
Yeah,
Don't think it's
yeah.
anyone's fault. Just
I
shit
think
happens.
it was the ref's mistake, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
because
if you noticed, it was Kyrie Sane that went for the pin,
mm,
and Dan Engler, the referee, said Kyrie you're not legal. You can't do the pin.
And then she stayed
But
in the ring and kept wrestling her.
she actually had been legal because she had just tagged in before.
Right.
So then I noticed what they did was they tagged Asuka back in for a moment. They did another awkward little thing to get back to the Kabuki Warriors corner again. Then they tagged Kyrie back in.
Right.
So I think there was just a bit of a mix up, whether it was on the ref's part or whether it was on the part of the Kabuki Warriors. I think that they were planning to do a spot there, but it was supposed to be with, a certain one at a certain time. But that was very strange. I'm sure we might find out some more about that in the coming days.
Bloody well hope so. But like, I like the fact that the women's tag titles were showcased here, and the fact that Jade and Bianca are the tag team champions. Maybe now they will actually finally highlight them and do something with them. And I don't want to sound like a broken record. I've mentioned it before, and I'm going to mention it one last time, but see what I mean when I talk about it being utterly pointless that the men have 2 tag team titles on both brands. And on the first premium live event since WrestleMania 40, neither of them were important enough to be on the line here. I know they don't have 10 matches per PLE. Yes, I just brought up AEW again, but it feels like they only need 1 men's tag team title. If not even one of them can get on this show, then you just need one then. Because maybe one pay-per-view or PLE, you have the women's, and the next one you have the men's. What are we going to do? Women's, men's SmackDown, men's Raw, women's. Are we going to go in that cycle? It seems like they only have one on per pay-per-view or PLE. As far as I'm concerned, I would rather there be 1 tag team title for the men, 1 tag team title for the women. The tag team champions can go from brand to brand, even NXT. And that would open up the space for a women's mid-card title, which they sorely need, like they're doing in NXT. Anywho, enough from me, Juicy Boy. Any extra thoughts on Jade and Bianca against the Kabuki Warriors?
Not really. I think that the Kabuki Warriors are they're your utility women in the WWE. They're your women's wrestlers that are on that roster, that whatever they plug those women into, they go out there and they give it their all. And they did exactly that in this match. As far as Bianca and Jade Cargill are concerned, I think we just found our female Road Warriors, bro. Like, they had the matching attires. They looked tremendous. They're powerhouses. We had here a match that actually felt important because you have 2 teams that feel like they're teams, and it feels like they're truly competitors. I'm going to give this match a C+. I was really impressed with a number of the things that I saw, and I really liked the finish as well.
Excellent, bro. I'm a big fan of Jade Cargill. And anyone out there, if you go to our YouTube channel, you can check out me playing AEW Fight Forever, where I play as Jade Cargill in the Road to Elite story mode, which I think is very, very entertaining and fun, despite the fact that the game is extremely frustrating at times. Anyway, let's move forward, Juicy Boy, to the main event of the evening here. It is the WWE Undisputed Universal, whatever. It's got a different name now, right?
It's the WWE Championship, bro. That's it.
That's it. Okay, because cage match still says Universal. But anyway, Cody Rhodes defending against AJ Styles. Juicy Boy, what did you think of this main event?
Oh, dude. I'm giving the match an A- and a Juicy Boy recommendation. Go out of your way to check it out. No, your finger has to be on the screen like this. No, you're thinking about it. You're thinking about it too much, bro. Or like this, ready? All
like
in
that?
one
Hang on,
motion.
like that?
No, just wait. I'll show you.
I'll wait like that.
I'm gonna do it
behind the microphone.
Okay, ready? I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like
it's got to be on a 45-degree angle. There you go. Very good. I like it.
Like that.
Yeah, I hate the Juicy Boy recommendation.
Fuck you.
Why would I hate it?
Such a stupid thing.
Dumb thing to hate.
Okay,
yes, keep going.
Let's get back on track. Okay.
Hurry up.
So the match itself, I got to be honest with you, man. This was like we're gonna get to it.
Unbelievable.
We're gonna get to it in the tweets, but
Yeah. Oh, God.
This was an incredible match. I don't know if
Oh,
these
yeah.
two have ever wrestled before. They may have done on the indies or something like that.
I'm
I'm
going to
not
search that
sure.
way. Keep talking. Yep. Keep going.
This match was balls to the wall. It looked like two guys that were just beating the shit out of each other. It gave me vibes of pay-per-view main event in the golden era of TNA, but yet at the same time, it had that WWE ruthless aggression era uh, sense of these guys want to go out there and absolutely steal the show because they're trying to have the best match on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt like the best of both worlds in terms of a great wrestling match that you might have seen AJ have in TNA, and just a great main event by WWE standards. It felt like that was kind of smashed together. I thought that even though it was a foregone conclusion, by the time the match was over, there's a small part of me that's wondering, man, are they going to do like a dusty finish or something here? Is AJ going to steal this match and put Cody on the warpath again? Part of me was thinking that, despite the fact that the result is relatively predictable, because they just did so many things where it's hard for me to describe, bro. Like, it wasn't that they did all these crazy different high spots or they dropped each other on their heads. It felt like a fight. And we got to see all the greatest hits from both of these guys in terms of the moves that they did. Cody used influences from Randy Orton, Hardcore Holly, Brock Lesnar, Dustin Rhodes, his father Dusty Rhodes, like
Yep.
all these people who have influenced Cody Rhodes over the years. He had to pull tricks out of his bag in this match from all of those guys in order to defend his championship against AJ Styles. AJ Styles as well is, since turning heel, man, and since he's come back, he has just been
Killing it.
operating on that different level. He's on fire. There was a sense of urgency and intensity to his performance. I haven't seen this kind of fire out of AJ Styles since he first debuted in the company. And perhaps the feud with The Undertaker.
Yeah.
AJ Styles is one of those performers there's a reason why he often gets compared to people like Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart. And that's because, like AJ Styles, those guys, their default baseline was that they were going to be really good and have a really good match. That was the default. But whenever you give them a story, some high stakes, something to really sink their teeth into, AJ is one of those guys that steps it up and shows you why he is one of the most accomplished wrestlers in the world. And I saw AJ pulling out all of his stops, and they couldn't have picked a better first opponent for Cody's first defense here than AJ Styles. And the other thing that I want to shout out the commentators as well, because I thought that they did a really great job of making this feel like a sporting contest. It had the big fight feel. If I had to pick a particular spot in the match that really kind of grabbed my attention, it was definitely the double jump Cody cutter, the second Cody
Yeah.
cutter in the
Yeah,
match.
that was good. Yeah.
Where Cody it looked like he overshot it, but because both guys are so athletic, it's like he overshot it, but AJ still managed to make it work anyway.
He somehow like scooted back slightly just to make it flush. Yeah.
While taking the bump, right? Like, and it
Unbelievable.
ended up just looking devastating with the impact. So, what a match. I mean, next pay-per-view, I don't know what he's going to be doing, but I hope that AJ Styles is given another great match to sink his teeth into. Match rating, A+.
Very good.
A plus for a different reason than I gave the Ospreay Bryan Danielson match at Dynasty. That match I gave an A plus because I thought that there was a level of creativity and physicality and a flow to it that you don't really see in many professional wrestling matches.
Uh-huh.
This one is an A plus because of the drama factor and because it pulled me into it. So just what a main event. I mean, if this match had been the only match on the show, it still would have been worth watching. And that's all you can really ask for from a good championship professional wrestling match.
What a shill. You're such a shill for the Fed.
Yeah.
WWE Stan.
Yeah, I'm an E drone.
Yeah, you're an E-drone. You know what? Great to see AJ back in the main event scene. I feel like he's been missing from that scene for way too long. Yes, before anyone says that he was in the Royal Rumble title match, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Before that, he wasn't doing a whole lot in the main event scene. And you're right. The best AJ Styles I've ever seen is the one that feuded with The Undertaker. And it was a shame that they couldn't really keep that going at the time. But I think he's better as a heel. I prefer AJ as a heel. Again, not going to talk about things that happened in the match, but it felt like that this match had some heat. The crowd were very, very, very into it. The singing and carrying on, it was really cool. So, you know, for Cody's first title defense, yes, this is the first time he and AJ ever went one-on-one. The only other time that they shared a ring prior to that was the 2016 Royal Rumble. So that's an interesting tidbit. But yeah, a good end to the show, despite the fact it was quite quite early in the morning at that point for me. But they still kept my attention. So very good stuff. Juicy Boy, do you have any final thoughts and a rating out of 10, you little... Don't
You couldn't even...
I couldn't think of an insult.
I'm going to give the show a 9 out of 10. And you know why?
Oh, shit.
This show went...
9.
Yeah. And I'll tell you why. This show went for 2 hours and 50 minutes in terms of the beginning of the show to the end of the main event. And I actually, when the main event started, I actually scrolled back a little bit because I was worried that somehow I'd missed something. Like the show breezed by in a good way because yes, there was only 5 matches, but I found myself being invested in all of them. And that goes a long way. And that's why I'm giving it a 9, because I didn't feel like it became a chore to sit down and watch this. I stayed into it the whole way through. And so that's probably my final thoughts on that. I also want to do a shout out again to the crowd. That really elevated this just that much more. Commentary was tremendous as well. I really feel like Michael Cole has just stepped it up since Vince is
definitely
out of the picture.
Fuck Vince, bro.
Yeah, so just a very, very positive. I mean, if there was going to be a show,
here we go.
If there was going to be a show that I was going to give 16.5 stars to, I mean, this could very well be it.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, gosh.
You know what, bro? One final thought about the first matchup. You know, if the Bloodline had Matt Riddle in it, he'd be called Sol Brosakoa. I'm gonna do that every review now.
What about if what about Tonga Broa? You couldn't have done something with that?
No.
No.
Sol Brosakoa. That's it. That's all it is. It doesn't change. That's what it is. Okay. I'm gonna give this show a 7.5 out of 10. Very nice. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. Okay, Juicy.
Well, I loved it.
Did you? Yeah, it sounds like a 9 out of 10 is very rare. Very rare on this show.
Rare.
I don't think we've ever given anything a 10 out of 10 on this show.
Nah.
We'll have to do retro reviews in order to get there because,
Mm.
yeah, all the best shit's already been passed. Anyway, okay. Juicy Boy, let's get some tweets, bro. We want to get some tweets. Are you keen? Are you ready?
Yeah, my fingers are poised over the keyboard.
Okay. Juicy Boy, you can respond to this first one here. So that this person here, Sean at STHO Leary 2, he's responding to a tweet about Triple H claiming that Drew Gulak was not fired over the Ronda Rousey allegations and claimed his contract just expired. He then claimed that Fightful and PWA Insider are not credible sources. If you're going to quote news sources, pick good ones. Sean said in response, Triple H is... Oh, here we go. I didn't read all of these beforehand, and I can already tell this is annoying. Triple H is the PR nightmare. Fuck off!
Just get through.
Triple H is a PR nightmare that WWE fans think Tony Khan is. Oh, what's the point of lying and taking shots at two sites that kiss your ass? Releasing Gulak was a win for you, dummy.
Okay.
Respond, DJ. Juicy Boy.
All right. First of all, Triple H is not the PR nightmare that fans think Tony is. Fans think Tony is a PR nightmare because he routinely goes out in public and makes an idiot of himself, whereas the vast majority of the wrestling audience and the world at large don't give a fuck about the comment that Triple H just made about the dirt sheets not being credible sources. They don't give a fuck. This guy Sean just said Triple H is a PR nightmare. To who? What's going to be affected by him making this comment? Answer, nothing. And as far as Drew Gulak's being a release, Drew Gulak's release being a win for them, how was it a win? He didn't do anything to Ronda Rousey. He didn't do anything wrong to her. That story that she told was complete bullshit. He went out and clarified that all he did was accidentally brush up against the drawstring on her pants.
Oh my God, like we're reaching so far to cancel someone, bro.
Yeah, he's not being cancelled. And that's not the reason why he was released from his contract in all likelihood. And the fact that you're assuming that it is just goes to show what a dumb shit you are, Sean. All right, next one.
Right, one last tidbit about this tweet from Sean, okay? These fans are trying so hard to find something to rip into Triple H about and make something out of the tiniest little thing that, guess what? They're all going to forget about it in about 3 days until the next thing that comes along that annoys them.
I already don't care about it. I didn't care about it the second I heard about it. What makes you think that there's people all around being all pissed off at Triple H?
If I watched that press conference and he made that comment, this is exactly how I'd react. Just waiting for him to talk about the next thing or ask the next question. Like, okay, now I have information. Cool. I'm not going to go, fuck, where's my Twitter? Hang on. Fuck, Triple H is a PR night. Fuck off, he is. Fuck off, he is, you absolute clown. Let's move forward.
Yeah.
Wrestling _Mark. Not this guy again, Jesus.
Oh, yes.
Please. Don't torture me. I've seen people comparing Cody versus AJ to Danielson versus Osprey. Fuck off. Just fuck off, bro.
Okay. So,
bro, you know what? Dude, get a grip, okay? Who gives a shit if someone thinks that they're just as a good quality of a match? Grow up. Runs to Twitter. Runs to Twitter quickly. Oh no, I can't be seeing this. I need to complain about it.
The only thing I'm going to say about it, bro, is you're right. It is bullshit to compare Cody versus AJ to Danielson versus Osprey because Cody versus AJ was the better match.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that. People get so wound up over that. Oh my God, bro. All right. Anything else?
I said what I said. You know, deal with it. All right.
Okay, Uncle Howdy Hoddy Hooper. What the fuck? What now? Oh God. Okay, I remember this one. Okay, WWE's answer to AEW signing current what BITW
best in the world.
Oh, fuck off. fuck off. They just, well, the two best in the world didn't even draw fucking what? How many fucking people were in that building? They can't draw fucking 10,000 people.
Yeah,
They're
it
the
was
best in the world.
It was 8,000.
I like Will Ospreay and I like Bryan Danielson, but fuck off. Okay, back to it. Will Ospreay at 30 years old and potentially GOAT. Kazuchika Okada at 36 was extremely mid or even bad nepo babies. Oh, fuck you. Tama Tonga at age 41 and 40-year-old Tonga Loa. Triple H stinks. Juicy Boy, please slay this motherfucker for me.
It's just so difficult to like hold back the bile that's trying to come up through my esophagus.
You know, Tama Tonga is already more well known than Will Ospreay in pro wrestling because he's in WWE.
Yeah, more people know Tama Tonga as soon as he showed up on SmackDown than know Will Ospreay right now worldwide.
I bet there's heaps of wrestling fans that are like, what do I happen to Daniel Bryan?
Now, yeah, exactly. Now, there's a few more tweets we have to get through, so I'm going to try to get through this one quickly. First of all, WWE doesn't need to answer AEW signing. Okay, WWE signing Tama and Tonga for this Bloodline storyline.
Tama and Toa, yeah. Keep going.
No, Tama and Tonga, as if I was saying each of their first names.
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah,
idiot. So them signing those two guys to the Bloodline is a completely separate thing to AEW signing Will Ospreay and Okada. Second of all, you point out here that in your opinion, potentially the greatest of all time, Kazuchika Okada, is 36. Then at the same time, literally one line below that, you mentioned that Tama and Tonga are 41 and 40 years old, respectively. Well, you know, I mean, by Dave Meltzer logic, 36 is just the same as 41. So, I mean, you know, it's basically the same thing. You stink.
Dude. The thing is, okay, what Will Ospreay's 30, is he? I guarantee you Tama Tonga will still be wrestling after Will Ospreay retires because he's not going to be able to keep going wrestling the way that he does, even if he only wrestles once a week and gets to have a nice little cushy 8-hour flight where he has a nap on the way there and a nap on the way home, because he's grinding, bro. Okay. Man, if there's AEW fans watching this, they're going to get so fucking angry. Let's move forward. Again, we're having someone respond to the Triple H Drew Gulak bullshit, and it's AEW Defender. I don't care what anyone says. Triple H is a dickhead, period. His little smart-ass comments get old, and he's coming off more and more stuck up every press conference. No, bro. It's all being created in your mind. Juicy Boy.
What smart-ass comment? You mean the factual information that he keeps on talking about at these press conferences? He's coming off more and more stuck up at every press conference. Well, he's the booker and head of creative for the largest wrestling promotion that's ever existed. And then prior to that, he was a highly ranking executive in the previous version of WWE. And then prior to that, he was like a legendary wrestler and performer from the annals of WWE. So even if he was stuck up, I think he'd be a little bit entitled to be a bit stuck up at this point. But that's beside the point, because he's not stuck up. He's not the one going on press conferences and calling AEW the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling.
Boom!
Yeah. He's not the one that's going around and saying he feared for his life when CM Punk was yelling at him and Vince backstage before he walked out on WWE in 2014.
You know what? That tweet, that was the Harvey Weinstein of tweets.
Yeah.
Okay, these people, bro. Baz at that Bazman. Triple cover up at it again. Very clever, bro. Triple cover up at it again. Yeah. Very, very clever. Paul McMahon, oh, very clever, bro. Just proved that rotten culture ain't at all changed. That's terrible English. That rotten culture ain't at all changed. That hasn't changed, you fucking dickhead. Oh, God. That ain't at all changed, but the same folks will all ignore it tomorrow while they get on their knees and fillet the roided up cunt, telling him how much better he is than Vince. Hashtag fuck the Fed, then, now, forever. Fuck off, you stupid cunt.
I actually think that I'm already stupid, but I think I might actually have like gone below the level where I can function as an adult in society after reading that. Like, I feel as though I've just read that and my eyes are just glazed over like this.
My eyes, the goggles do nothing.
Seriously, I'm not even going to dignify that with a response because the person who tweeted it is just too much of a piece of shit.
God, they're trying so hard to get angry at something that's not even there. Chrissy Ann at _ Chrissy Ann _ Why does he always speak to people? Oh, this is about Drew Gulak again. Why does he always speak to people like they are dog shit? It's honestly so off-putting. Get that you don't like the question, but Jesus Christ. Okay, you had to tweet that, did you, mate? Cool.
He didn't talk to anyone like they were a piece of shit. He said if you're going to quote news sources, you might want to quote credible ones.
God, he's disgusting behavior from Paul Levesque there, mate.
Yeah, just so terrible that he actually, someone at a press conference would, comment on what they thought of the source of the question that they were asked. Something that people do when they're talking to journalists. All right.
3 to go here, bro. 3 to go. The responses to tweets go longer than the actual review.
Yeah, I know. Just 1 second, though. I also saw Sean Ross Sapp and a couple of other people publicly asking for an apology from Triple H on his Twitter for saying that. You don't deserve an apology. You're not going to get one. And it's actually insulting and arrogant that you actually sat there and typed that out and posted it. Go fuck yourself. All right. 3 more tweets.
Worry about your comb over more than a thank you. Oh, sorry, a thank you. An apology. Okay, here we go. Here comes this dickhead again. The real one. WWE real one. Oh, he's just insufferable. I hope to God that it's a troll. They got Tama Tonga and Tangaloa. We got Will Ospreay, Okada, and Jay White. There's levels to this. Crying emoji, fire emoji. Twice.
You know what? For once in his life, the real one is actually right. There is levels to this. There's AEW, then there's WWE, right? Way up here. Way up here. So there is levels, and Tama and Tonga just ascended to the higher level. Talking of my own rage here.
I love when that happens. You're in the middle of a sentence, you just start choking.
Yeah. So there is levels, and Okada's on a lower down one. Okay?
I like Okada. I like him, but you know what? These fans blow so much fucking smoke up their ass that it makes people want to be like, oh, he's not that good. Because you overhype these fucking dudes. We got Will Ospreay, Okada, and Jay White, and the ratings are shit, and no one's going to the fucking shows. Yeah. Okay. And besides, both of these guys were in New Japan just a fucking few months ago, and I bet you were fucking sucking their cock while they were there.
Oh,
just
dude.
Because they didn't get signed with the other 200 people on the roster.
Dude. If Tony had signed these 2 guys, Tama and Tonga, if Tony Khan had signed these 2 guys, then this same dude, real one, would have been going, they don't fucking care about the bloodline. They'd rather actually go where the best wrestle and stuff like that. Turns out, bro, that they actually care about money.
Being with their family.
And probably not being a virgin like you are.
Being in front of paying crowds.
I wonder how much
with lots of people.
I wonder how much money Real One spends per week cleaning Cheeto dust off his computer equipment.
0. I think it's just caked in it. Okay. 2 more to go. Okay. Dav at Davborough123. What, was there already a Davborough? Was there? Well, you had to put a 1, 2, 3 on the end. Think of a different name if you put a number on it.
Yeah.
It annoys me, bro.
Not
Anyway.
that great of a name that you
Yeah,
you
why is
need.
it so important that you have to keep it? Like, oh, I'll just put a 1, 2, 3 on the end. Okay.
That took us off track. Okay. There's two parts to this tweet.
Oh, I've got a
Okay.
headache.
The the concept of an engagement grift immediately began on wrestling Twitter after this show had finished. And I don't know if you heard about that, Carl, but the idea is that WWE is creating an illusion of being in a boom period by going to all these different countries and places and putting on shows. And because these places don't get WWE that often, the crowds are really into it and they're really hot. So WWE is deliberately doing that to pretend that they're going through a boom period. I'd like to see how exactly it's a grift when every single TV taping that they do in the United States is sold out. And I'd like to see how it's a grift when they're going to all these places around the world and they're selling it out. That's not a grift. People are engaging with the product because they actually enjoy it. You know, sorry, Dave, Vince McMahon's not here anymore. Okay? There's no crappy WWE creative going on for you to shit on to try to make AEW look better. As for the second part, Cody versus AJ wouldn't have hit it. First of all, it wouldn't have hit top 3, not wouldn't have. But he says Cody versus AJ wouldn't have hit top 3 if it was on Dynasty. Yeah, you're right, because it would have been the best match on there. Okay? Is that what you wanted to hear? Like, it wouldn't have hit top 3? What are you fucking talking about? It definitely would have been one of the top matches if it was on that card.
Like, it was a really good match. Like,
yeah, if AJ had signed with AEW, right, 5 years ago, if AJ had signed with AEW and him and Cody had an identical match in AEW, this same guy would be sucking it off.
You know what it is? It's forcing a narrative to make it seem like it's something is so when it's not. But anyway, yeah, they just had the biggest arena gate in the history of the company. But yeah, they're only going to France just to pretend that there's a boom period. Like, the average ticket price was $300.
Yeah.
And they had 11,000 people in that building. Eat my balls. Okay. Let's get to the final fucking tweet here. I've got a headache from all this. Trickathy Hardaway at It's Tricky. How ... I love how when they do this, they add some suspense to the tweet.
They try and be so dramatic as if we're all waiting with bated breath.
I'm bated breath for a guy that I don't know and have never seen before. How ... I'm on the edge of my seat. Oh, I wonder what he's going to say next. How can any individual say Cody Rhodes isn't over? How can any individual say he's boring already and fans will be booing him? You're weird as fuck for real. You know what, Trickathy? You're so fucking right, because every time a babyface becomes champion, within a month, people are saying that they're boring. Every fucking time. Happened to Drew. It's happening to Cody. Fuck me. He's right.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, people aren't actually turning on Cody. The only people turning on Cody are the diehard, hardcore fans that, you know, they think Zack Ryder should be doing jobs to Brock Lesnar, you know.
I've never seen anyone say that Cody isn't over.
No.
Like, you see the kids fucking crying in the audience when he hugs them? Like,
dude, yeah, it's like he's like their superhero.
Yeah.
He's like their superhero.
He's taking like the John Cena role now.
To be honest with you, I'll say this as well. Even when Roman Reigns was a babyface and a lot of the fan base hated him, children loved Roman Reigns. You can find videos of kids meeting Roman Reigns and just being so overcome with joy.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the kids still buy into it. It's still real for them. And like, so the idea that people are getting, just because some like absolute loser bellend that lives in his basement and sits there jerking off with Cheeto lube
thanks to the Cheetos,
thinks that Cody might be getting boring. that doesn't mean that he's still not the biggest star in the wrestling world at the moment. Like, it's just,
Fuck me.
God, I know we like going through these tweets, but sometimes I just feel like we're
Like
collectively
I don't
contributing.
feel well now.
We're dumbing the population down.
Like I feel like I need to have a shower after this. I feel just
Yeah,
decimated by all this. I need to be rejuvenated. This
I feel
is
like if I ate a packet of dry cigarettes, I'd feel healthier than I feel after reading those tweets.
it's just a nightmare, bro. Like these people just try so hard to make something out of absolutely nothing. Like Backlash France was a fine little show.
Yeah.
How were you able to find a way to fucking be negative about that? It
Yeah.
wasn't amazing, but it wasn't that fucking bad. And whatever, I don't give a shit anymore,
Yeah. To
bro.
partially quote Linkin Park as far as these tweets go, they tried so hard, they didn't get very far. And in the end, it doesn't really matter.
Exactly, because they're not even going to remember what they're so angry about in like the next 2 days. Because something's going to happen on, Raw tomorrow or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck. And
That's just like, did you see last week, Real One put out a tweet going, I
no,
don't
I
know.
didn't.
He said, I don't know why y'all are clowning on me because Drew McIntyre re-signed with WWE. I never wanted him to come to
Get
AEW.
fucked, cunt.
And then in the comments beneath, someone screenshotted one of his tweets from like a year before where he was like, come on, Galloway, come to AEW.
That fucking dude, I swear to God, it's got to be a troll. Okay, look, Juice, we should sail off into the sunset, bro.
Yeah.
I think we've talked enough, and by this point, everyone's already tuned out. But thank you so much for your time, bro. And I'm looking forward to the next time we do some of this shit.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let us all know out there what you thought of the show. What did you think of Backlash? What did you think of the idiot tags that we just read and went through for you there? Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe.
Okay, boss.
You want to make sure you click on the bell, boss. You want to get the notifications.
Juice boy, enough clowning around. Let's get out of here.
I'm sorry. I'm having fun. All right. Bye, everybody.
See you next time, everyone. Love you. I don't love them.
I hate them.